Hi, it's guitarist Meng Su here, and I'm at the Peabody Conservatory in Baltimore, Maryland, to interview Maestro Manuel Barrueco for the upcoming 2022 Baltimore International Classical Guitar Competition. Well, as we all know, there's many guitar competitions in the world today. My first question would be, why did you want to do a new competition, and what was the intention behind, the idea behind?
Well, my idea, or I should say what I'd like, is the idea to have a competition that focuses only on the artistry of the player, and nothing else, and a friendly competition, that, for example, we have a 3-day final, which means that if somebody happens to have a bad day, they have 3 days to do it. Because we want to see, we want them to show us, their best. We want to see what they can do.
So I also noticed that on the preliminary round, semifinal, and also the first 2 days of final round, the judging is being blind. What are the intentions behind that?
The intention behind that is just to make sure that there is no prejudice in the judging. The judges will not know who the players are. They don't know if it's a man or a woman or who they started with. Nothing. It will be just based on their music making, and then on the very last day of the competition, which actually will take place here in this hall at Peabody. For the first time, the judges will see the players. But by that time, they will have voted twice on these players without having seen anything, without having seen them. So it will not be a determining, factor when they see it. But I think that we thought it would be nice to have one day where they could just also appreciate the play.
Okay, and let's dig more into the rules of the competition. I see there's a lot of required repertoire, set pieces.
Yes.
And that is, if I might say, become pretty rare nowadays, because I see lots of competitions, they don't require any set pieces at all. And why was, all these required for this competition?
Well, notice that all this required repertoire is very common repertoire that all the guitarists should know. So if they don't know it, they probably should not be in these competitions. I mean, we're talking about playing Bach, Villalobos, Tárrega, the sort of Mozart variations. I mean, everybody knows that. So the intention is not to make it difficult. The intention is to test the players in a variety of styles and levels of difficulties, without making it difficult for them by having to learn, repertoire that, they wouldn't otherwise, learn.
So what are the final repertoire every day?
So for the final round, they have to play Bach. I mean, everybody has to play Bach. If you cannot play Bach, we have the Sword, the variations on a theme by Mozart. I thought that would be a great classical piece to play, repertoire. And we don't have original Mozart music, so I thought this would be good. Capriccio Árabe by Tárrega, that would be a romantic piece. And the reason for that was to see how beautifully a player could carry a basically simple, though very beautiful melody. And then the next pieces, there's a tremolo piece. It can either be Tárrega Recuerdos or Barrios Una Limosna, just to give them a chance to show the tremolo, since that's a technique that a great guitarist should have. And then Villalobos, in my opinion, perhaps the greatest composer for the guitar. Not only his music, but his vision of the instrument. So you have Etude 1, it's going to test the right hand. Etude 7, it's going to test the left hand.
I think Etude 7, both hands.
Both hands. And then the Prelude 3 by Villalobos, but the Prelude 3. And the reason for the Prelude 3 is because it's a really difficult one to play musically. So there is a challenge in them. If you play the first one, you can be very convincing. You know, even if you don't play it well, it sound great. This one, if you don't,
Yes.
you know, you're gonna hear it. So it's a challenge musically.
And I see there's also free choice music of
Right.
40 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, wow. It sounds like there's a lot of emphasis on styles.
Well, I think I mean, we really hope that we're going to get a player that would be a good musician with a knowledge of styles. Yes, I mean, I would hope so.
And speaking of styles, I think they are judges in the jury that are very specialized in different styles. For example, Paul Odette.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
he's the only two of the guitarists in the jury?
Well, there are 7 jurors. 3 are guitarists,
Okay.
3 are not guitarists, and then the fourth one is Paul Odette, which is a lutenist player. But he also was a guitar major as well many years ago. So so he's in between. But I mean, as you know, I mean, he's just an amazing musician, and an incredible player, and so I have utmost respect. So I wanted that. I wanted somebody, when I say I mean, I should say we wanted that, and I'm really happy that he's there for that reason. Yeah.
And some non-guitarists?
Non-guitarists?
Yeah.
Yes, and these are people that are top of the fields. Like this Nancy Allen. Nancy is a harpist, and she's the harp teacher at the Juilliard School of Music, and she's also the harpist of the New York Philharmonic. So she's a great harpist, and and a very a very serious musician. And there's also Marina Piccinini, the flute player. You have played with her, which is fantastic, flutist. And Saul Beltran, Saul Beltran is the first violinist of the Quarteto Latinoamericano, the Latin American String Quartet, and which is the finest group specializing in Latin American music, which is a big part of our repertoire. But one thing that these 3 people have in common is that they have all played with guitar. Mm. Nancy has played with guitar. Marina does, and you have played with her as well. And Saul Beltran with the quarteto. I mean, they have played with many guitarists. So they come from other instruments, but the guitar is familiar to them. Oh, and the guitar stuff. So for the guitarists, we have three guitarists that are, the 3 of them are very serious musicians and represent a different school of players. It's Paolo Pregoraro from Italy, though he teaches in Austria, in Graz in Austria, and he also leads the Segovia Academy in Italy. There is Fabio Sanon, he's really amazing. I mean, he's a great player. He's a conductor. He's pedagogue. He's written a lot about. He's really an impressive, serious musician. And there's also Thomas Muller-Perrin, who's another extremely serious musician, and he teaches in very prestigious schools. We actually played together many years ago and recorded also as well. So these are very it's a very serious and very accomplished jury.
So you mentioned this would be a great opportunity for young players, and I wanted to ask you, just in general, what's your opinion about competitions? Because there's a saying that too many for young players are not so good in terms of their growth and their overall playing. I just want to know what your thoughts on that.
Well, you're a musician. You spend a lot of time by yourself in a room, trying to perfect, your technique, your musicality, to become hopefully a great artist. But if you're going to have a career, it's not enough that you practice in a room. People need to hear you. You know, you need to let your art be known to others. And this is a fast changing world. It's changing very quickly, and I don't know that we know yet how, where it's going to go. So I think what I hope the competition will do is actually what I told my students that have gone to one, which is just there and show what you have. It's a way for them to go and it gives them a vehicle, a showcase, to show the work that they have done. And I would tell whoever plays in it to do it that way. I often hear, and I am asked even by students, well, what should I play for a competition? Because they know this judge, and what's going to make a good impression. Just play it. Play what you do well, do that. So anyway, I think competitions, can be helpful in the sense that, they could help you get your name out there.
I have one last question.
All right.
And that is, I know you practice daily with very diligent practice and plans. I want to ask you do you have any suggestions or tips for the competitors doing this competition?
Well, when we're practicing, we obviously trying to get all the bugs out. We're trying to get a technique down. Assuming that the technique is there, just it's the music. I think at the end of it all, that's what this is about. It's about the music, and I think it's about feelings. Somebody once said that music is what feelings sound like. That's what it is. And what I can tell the student, actually was listening to somebody that was talking about writing, actually. The best way that you can try to make others love what you do is if you love it yourself. And by that I don't mean, I love me, it means that when you hear what you have done, you say, that is beautiful, And that's the best way that you can make sure that if you love it, that others might love it as well.
Great. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with me. And for the competitors, please start filling the applications and learning all the repertoires, and I'm sure you already do. And you will be treated very fairly with great care, and you'll be rewarded. Even if you don't win, you will be rewarded with your personal growth.
Thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule. Amazing.
I actually flew back from San Francisco for you, for the competition.
Yeah? Okay.